And prayer we must this very evening and always going forward. And I will pray in the language of heaven, because Chukwu Okike Abiama is in control of all that we have been doing and will continue to do until Biafra is restored and all the suffering indigenous populations in the damnable Zoological Republic are set free. Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile Chukwu Okike Abiama onye na-efewe n'aja aha nsọ ya mma mgbe niile. Onye ọbụla na ya na-achị eluigwe n'ụwa na-agba akaebe ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị na-eze ekpede ngọzi. Anyị wee na-etoghị agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro. Iwe nye anyị ndụ n'ala nke dị n'uwe n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-asị na ịja mma niile otu niile dịrị aha nsọ gị. Onye ọ bụ naanị aka ike niile na ọ gbadara aka ya. Anyị wee na-akpọku gị na-asị gị na nke ọma anyị ga-ekele gị, nke ọjọọ ma anyị kelee gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-eto gị, wee na-asọpụrụ gị n'isi ụmụ gị niile bụ ndị ikwu ndị wee eziokwu mgbe a kpọrọ ha ka ha wee chekwaa ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na ihe n'ikwuru anyị nkwa na o mekataghị ka ndị iro wee were ala nsọ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe. Agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro ma ndị na-agba mgbagba ebe niile dị iche iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna ihere bụ nke ndị dị etu a n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-eto gị, wee na-asị onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta, onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na n'ụtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise ise ise.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much, and remember, in this channel, we speak up for the indigenous people of Biafra, the Oduduwa people, the Middle Belters, and every indigenous tribe in Nigeria. We speak for their issues. We speak about things that concern the indigenous tribe in the continental called Nigeria, the intimidation, the killing, and the lies against the citizens of Nigeria. We bring it to the floor and make people understand the real truth of what is going on in the continental called Nigeria. The conventional media in Nigeria is telling a lot of lies, confusing the international media, and they are pulling some string, telling lies about the situation, trying to play the situation down. But in this channel, we'll tell you exactly the way it is. We do not like to play anything down. We don't lie about it. Neither do we try to be politically correct in any statement. We say it just the way it is. Thank God for the social media, for the opportunity. For the Biafran and Biafran friends, if you have not joined the prayer that we are doing, the 150 days prayer, it is still ongoing. We are almost at the end of the prayer, and already a lot of miracle has happened, and more are coming. If you want to stand strong and not shake, the best thing for you to do is to join the prayer. Pray earnestly so that you can be able to connect to the spirit of Biafra, so that you can be able to connect to Asuli Nnamdi Kanu and know what he's thinking and what he wants us to do. So many a time, a lot of informations are flying from east, west, north and south, right and center. You can't be able to know which is which. For you to be able to know which is right and what to do, you have to pray along with Asuli Nnamdi Kanu. That prayer is very important. He started the prayer with us before he was kidnapped. He started the prayer. He knew what was going to come. Chukwu Okike Abiama prepared him for today. So that is why you can connect to him through that prayer. Do not take it for a joke. I can tell you that a lot of things are happening. And only those who are steadfast in that prayer are still standing strong, saying the right word, using the right statement. Don't allow yourself to be distracted. You can see, as we speak, a lot of propaganda are coming from every corner. The government is shaking. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done what he's supposed to do. And today, the Janjaweed confirmed they know that Nigeria has ended. But they wouldn't accept it. They wouldn't go without a fight. We are on the last fight. And you have to fight with everything you have. That is why you have to use your own platform. No matter how small, no matter how big. Speak up about the plight of the people in the country called Nigeria. Tell the world what is happening. In your own area. It doesn't matter your tribe. It doesn't matter your religion. Whatever is going on in your own area, speak up. That is the only way you can stay safe. If you keep silent, you are complicit and you will die in it. The only solution is to speak up. The best way you can, shout on top of your voice. Let the world hear us. Even if they will not come to our aid, let them know that we know what is happening and we are speaking. So that when we start taking action, they won't say that we didn't say it. Just like everything that is unfolding today. They are all what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has spoken of long time ago. Today, they are happening before your own very eyes. People are still peddling the rumors of a unity in Nigeria. Nigeria can never be united, has never been united. You see some people, they come out and tell you that Nigeria is a peaceful country. Nigeria people are united. Nigeria people has never been united at any time. And when you tell me that the disunity is only in the hand of the elites, you are just deceiving yourself, because it is the same elites that are riding that very contraption called Nigeria. They are the ones that are piloting that very contraption called Nigeria. It is only in the southeastern region where our Sudan Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have taken away the power from them and give the power to the masses. That is the only way you see the masses speaking. And the masses are speaking the right language. Referendum. Referendum. But apart from the masses in the southeastern region that are speaking the right language, if you go to the political elite, they are speaking the same language with the Fulani Janjaweed. They are the same. When it comes to politicians, they are united in their crime. They are united in their fraud. They are united in their subjugation of the people. That is the obvious truth. So when anybody is coming to tell you that Nigeria is united, they never want to go their separate ways. He is talking about the political sectors. The political sectors in Nigeria, it doesn't matter their tribe, it doesn't matter their religion, it doesn't matter their location. They are putting their egg in one basket. They are chasing one thing. That is why they can never support Oduduwa Republic. They never can support Biafra Republic. They can never support even the Arewa. They wouldn't support it. Because these people are playing the script of the Janjaweed, the script of the Fulanis. The Fulanis have mastered this craft that they have planted their own stooge in every tribe, in every region. They have put them in a very popular position. They have given them money, financed them, and they are so strong in every region that you cannot be able to change the narrative except the masses rise in full force. They are very few. Less than 1% of them. But they are manipulating the whole country. But I'm telling you that the people in the country called Nigeria knew very well that everybody have his or her own ethnic group. They know where they belong. It doesn't matter. An Igbo man can go and live in Maiduguri for 100 years. He knows that he's an Igbo man. And he will continue to pursue an Igbo cause. An Hausa man can live in the southeast for donkey years, can speak Igbo, but yet he knows he's a Fulani or he's an Hausa. He's pursuing the cause of the Hausa. A Yoruba man can live in the southeast part of Nigeria for years, but he or she knows that he is a Yoruba, and they will continue to pursue the Yoruba cause. Why don't you understand this simple language that the country is not one and can never ever be one? And the people, even your so-called founding father, that is the funniest thing. The people you call their founding fathers, go and check history, what they said about the so-called contraption. They were never planning to be one. What they bargained for is that every region should govern themselves, control their resources, and do what they want in their region. That was what they agreed. I'm talking about your so-called founding fathers. But today, what do you see? Today, what you see is the attempt to occupy the whole land by the Fulanis. Everything has been handed over to Fulanis. Fulanis are in charge of every activity in the contraption called Nigeria. You can't say a word without mentioning Fulani and their cow. That is where Nigeria has drifted into. What does that tell you? Nigeria is not one and can never be one. From the time Osman Donfodio came into Nigeria as a Fulani, decided to infiltrate the Hausas and take away the Hausas, handed over to Ahmadu Bello, and Ahmadu Bello continued to preach the same hate speech. Ahmadu Bello came up with Northern first, the Northern agenda. And that Northern agenda is what they are pursuing. They are not pursuing any one Nigeria agenda. The only one Nigeria they are talking about is the Fulanization and Islamization of Nigeria. That is what one Nigeria means to an ordinary Northern. And they know it. They don't play, they don't joke about it. It is not just the politician. The politicians have succeeded in feeding this information to their ordinary people. They believe it, they live it, that is their life. They do not regard anybody from the southern part of Nigeria as human. They don't regard it equal to themselves. That is why they treat themselves separately. And it is obvious, playing out everywhere. If you have a case, you go to the court or you go to the police, they are always treated differently from the people in the south. Why is it so? In a country where people are supposed to be treated equal, in a country where people are supposed to be treated equal, you do not want people to complain. You don't want them to protest. You don't want them to talk of a better, even your so-called one Nigeria, to make it work. You don't want people to talk about it. When you talk about some people going their separate ways and for self-determination, you don't want to see them, you want to kill them. What do you want? All you want is to make sure you destroy the people and nothing else. The Fulanis are just like Satan, who has come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. That is the only mission the Fulani Janjaweed had. And they are trying to accomplish that mission through the imposter in Aso Rock today. And if you don't understand it the way I've explained it, I will allow this lawyer from Biafra land to explain it to you. Maybe after hearing from this lawyer, you will understand better what is going on in the contraction called Nigeria, and you wake up and fight.
They started raising Biafran flag. You unleash the military Operation Python dance to shoot and kill them. A government that kills people for carrying Biafran flag also kill people for carrying the Nigerian flag at Lekki Toll Gate. So if carrying Biafran flag is a crime, why was it a crime to also carry Nigerian flag? So what exactly do they want Nigerians to do? People are calling for Biafra, you kill them. People also carry Nigerian flag and sang the national anthem, you also kill them. So this is a government that is addicted to blood. Because you have a president, as I said, who is disconnected from civilization. Except you just want to govern non-entities. You must allow people to express themselves. Sunday Igboho, you say you cannot protest for Oduduwa Republic. Nnamdi Kanu, you say you cannot protest for Biafran Republic. Okay, people like Sowore who are also fighting, protesting for a better Nigeria. You say no, you can also not protest for a better Nigeria. What does Buhari want? Is it cattle colony? Because you see why he loves cattle. Cattle don't really protest. When you lead them, they follow you. So I understand why Buhari is in love with cattle. Why he's so emotionally attached to headsmen. Because he understands the psychology of cattle. When you lead them, they follow you. Sheepishly. But you can't treat human beings like...
I cannot say it better than he just explained it. This is just the situation. They will never agree to anything to make things work. All they want is that very agenda they have in mind. That plan of dipping their Quran into the Atlantic Ocean. That is the only agenda. And if you have any other thing in mind, and you think you're working with them, you're on your own. That is why you can see the assassination of the prominent men that are going to happen in the southern part of Nigeria. It is going to escalate. Because they are going to kill all those people working for them in order to demonize IPOB and other people that are asking for succession. That is what is going to happen. But are we going to run away because of that? No, we cannot stop. We cannot stop. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter the strategy they bring. We can never stop. We continue to fight until the last man standing. We'll continue to fight until the last man standing. You can see all along to tell you that these politicians are evil. They are criminals, and when you see them talking, you think they are talking for your good. They only come to talk about things that are good when they are fighting for their own selfish interests. When they have an interest, personal interest to protest, that is when you see as if they are talking. They are not talking on your own behalf. You see, Wike all along. Wike have been bragging. Now it is now you can know the reason why Wike killed people in Obibo, to show his strength, to approve the so-called one Nigeria. Now you can know Wike has come out in PDP as one of their presidential candidates. Wike is coming out as one of the presidential candidates in PDP. Now you can now know why he killed people in Obibo. You can see now he's fighting tooth and nail to make sure he kills as many members of IPOB as he can. Just because he wanted to protect his political career. Just because his friend in the north will see him as a neutral person. That was why he killed his own brothers. He even denied his own origin, denied his own tribe. Because of this very thing he has done, he had now announced he's going to participate in the election. He's going to contest as a president. This is what we see. Selfish interest. All the politicians you see in the southern part of Nigeria, bunch of evil men. You can never trust any one of them. When you think they are talking for you, they are not speaking up for you, they are speaking for themselves. And I bet you, if you put Wike in Aso Rock, he's going to be worse than any other president you can think of. He has just shown what he can do by killing his own brothers in Obibo. That is how southern presidents and southern politicians operate. They use their people as an example to prove to their boss in the north that they can kill their people. They can control them. They can sample other people, and people will never talk. This is how they prove it. Wike just proved it. It is now you can now see everything unfolding. His plan, why he was fighting against the people. This is why we have to break these pieces, break this contraption up before they kill everybody. If you don't break it up, you can never find a single person that is legitimate, a single person that has the people at heart. You can't find. You can't find anyone until you break this contraption up. When you break it up, then people will begin to think home. People will begin to think about human. But for now, nothing works. Nothing works. It is obvious. Everything you can see in this country called Nigeria doesn't work and can never ever work. It can never work. It can never work. No matter how you look at it, no matter the angle you bring it from. Nothing works in Nigeria. You see politicians coming to dish out their lies. The disunity is very, very clear and open. After 61 good years, go to the media. They have just finished celebrating their 61 good years. But go to the media and see what people are saying. Even the politicians don't call lawmakers. The lawmakers don't believe that Nigeria will survive. The lawmakers you have who are supposed to be protecting Nigeria and defending it, go and listen to them and hear what they are saying. I will play this video for you. After watching the video, maybe you might wake up from your sleep.
Members of the Nigerian Parliament are asking for unity for a better Nigeria.
There was the effort to see that the union works. 61 years after, well, no, an adult would have ordinarily retired. So we ought to have come to a level of maturity where we know how to conduct the business of the nation. Unfortunately, that has not been the case. Because increasingly, and particularly presently, our diversity is monumentally mismanaged. People are becoming increasingly selfish. At the topmost level of leadership in this country, even at the states level, the pattern and method of leadership recruitment has been challenging.
We knew that we came together as different tribes, different religion, but there was peace. What we can do is, number one, we need orientation. Let all these young ones that are growing up causing this problem know that we came together and we know our differences. So let religion not be a problem. Then if I'm a Yoruba man, you are an Hausa man, let us know that if we are not together, we want to go on our different ways, it will be easier for other smaller countries to overrun us. Our coming together is our strength.
Some believe Nigeria has not achieved much since independence.
Even though leaders past and present have made frantic efforts to position Nigeria where it ought to be, we seem not to have gotten it right. And a whole lot is actually wrong with our growth agenda as a nation. Principal among them, in my own thinking, is that even at this dispensation, this era, we're a nation that is still bedeviled by what a lot of people have completely eliminated. We're still battling with the sentiment of ethnicity and religion. It will sound primitive in some quarters for people to talk about their country being, enmeshed, in a crisis of ethnicity and religion and all sorts of such funny things. It affects both economic, social, and political development in the country.
In terms of security, it's a very big problem. I also know that our healthcare systems, our education system, our pension system, there's no infrastructure. So I thank God I'm alive. Nigeria is 61, but honestly, we need to start sitting down to say, look, we've not done so well. There's some people that will go and have a performance of 60% and give themselves a pat on the back. Some people say, look, 60% might be a pass mark, but honestly, it's far from where we want to be. So where do we want to be in this country? Because we're going to be 100 years by the grace of God. Nigeria is going to become 62 next year, 63, 64, 65. We need to say, look, as a country, in the next 5 years, this is where we want to be.
While others say Nigeria has the potentials to become a great nation.
Nigeria has never been disunited. We have never been disunited. The disunity is being orchestrated by the elite, most of the time driven by either parochial reasons, political reasons, or reasons that are pedestrian as far as I am concerned. An average Nigerian chooses to travel and live anywhere he wants. His immediate neighbor accommodates him. The immediate environment he lives with him peacefully, interacts with him, until the elite get dislocated at the top. And my worry and concern is that people are always available and vulnerable to such instigation.
61 years down the line, Nigerian leaders are working to tackle so many challenges faced in the country.
This is the situation. That is how it is. And when you saw a northerner talking, when a northern man is talking, a northerner is coming to tell you that yes, everybody is united, the only problem they have is the elites. And how can you talk about this one Nigeria without these elites? How can you, for God's sake, talk about one Nigeria without this demonic elite? You cannot speak about one Nigeria without having this demonic elite taking charge of it. That shows you that the solution, the only solution is a referendum. Referendum that will conduct that so people who can put their signature on where they want to belong. After putting their signature on where they want to belong, people will come together and write a constitution. Constitution that will favor them. Constitution that will represent them. That is what we're asking for. That is the only thing the Biafrans and the Oduduwa are crying for on a daily basis. And nothing more. This is why they are killing us. This is why a lot of Biafrans are in prison today. Even in the northern part of Nigeria. In all prisons in Nigeria, go, you will see Biafrans who have not committed any offense. They have not killed anybody. They have not kidnapped anybody. Just because they are asking for self-determination. They are in prison today. Just because they are asking, look at Wike. The reason why Wike imprisoned people in Oyibo, took them to so many prisons and locked them up, was because of this very thing he has pronounced. He wants to be a president of Nigeria. And the only way to prove his loyalty to the North is to kill his own people. They will do this again and again. And you will see somebody who will come and begin to campaign and encourage people to go and vote. Vote for what? Vote for something that will kill you? When are you going to wake up Biafrans? I pity those Biafrans who are still sacrificing their life. Because each time you speak up for this Janjaweed, you are putting your own life in danger. Because you that is think you are serving them, just as our Sulaiman said, you will come back either dead or disgraced. It has happened time and time again. You will come back disgraced or killed. Most dangerous is that this time around, they will kill you. Why they will kill you is because they want to make sure that they frame up IPOB and frame up the ESN. That is why they are assassinating people, pushing their unknown gunmen from all corners, bringing people from the north to kill people in the southeastern part of Nigeria. In Anambra State, as I speak to you, it has been very, very hot. Pushing all of propaganda. You see them releasing on audio, coming to tell us that the Enugu said that the people killing in Anambra State, which is a pure lie. No Igbo man will stand and kill another Igbo man. They don't do that. For no reason. You can't just do that. The only enemy we know, the single enemy that we know in the country called Nigeria is the Fulani Janjaweed. They are the ones who doesn't want us to have peace. And everything, agitation you are seeing in Nigeria is because of lack of peace, lack of unity. And that unity, you can never attain it by any other means except by disintegration. No other means to attain unity or peace in that very region except disintegration. The more we remain together, they will continue to push to the southern part of Nigeria, or the southern part of Nigeria. How can you stop them? You can't stop them. They are in power. The Constitution permits them to parade themselves and take their cow anywhere they want to take their cow. The Constitution covers them even when they are carrying their AK-47. That is where we have found ourselves. And you want us to just fold our hand and pretend it's okay. It is not okay. It is not okay. And we will continue to speak. We will continue to speak. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. We will continue to speak. And if you think anybody is finding it easy, nobody in the contraption called Nigeria is finding it easy. Not even the ordinary people. I will play a video for you of something somebody saying in the street. Somebody is saying in the street, a citizen of that very country called Nigeria. I don't know his tribe, I don't know his religion, but looking at him, he might be from the north. They are not finding it easy either. He might be from the middle belt. They are not finding it easy. Listen and hear what he has to say.
I have a job, first of all. The question in here, whether I'm proud of being a Nigerian, that the independence was celebrated yesterday, and we're looking at things today. First of all, do I have a job? I have an OND from Ahmadu Bello University. I have an A-level from Jacksonville State University in Jacksonville City, Alabama. I'm very brilliant, I'm very intelligent, I'm religious, I'm holy. But the question in here, if I'm going to be proud of Nigeria, do I have a job? After paying school fees, after doing rigorous exercises in school, after learning the society, what has society got to give me? Before they question me if I'm proud of being a Nigerian and how we celebrated the independence yesterday, what has Nigeria paid me after all the tuition fee that I paid in both hard currency and naira? What have I got to develop? The time I completed my OND, they said, FIRS said they will no longer employ OND holders, that they have sacked all ordinary national diploma holders, and they have to only employ people having bachelor's degree. Now, is it based on reality that I will be proud of Nigeria, or based on dreams and speculations? It's supposed to be based on reality. Maybe if I've been locked up in just Abuja or Lagos, I can say yes, I'm proud of Nigeria because I've not seen the outside world. But from what I have seen in America, in Cairo, in Egypt, in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai. Dubai is just young, but if you see Dubai, it's a diamond star. Dubai is glowing and they are not richer than Nigeria. In terms of natural resources, Dubai is not richer than Nigeria, but go to Dubai today, you will eat food on the floor, on the ground, not even floor. On the main road, you can relax and have your breakfast, lunch and dinner in Dubai. If not for the traffic. And they don't have enough natural resources like Nigeria. Nigeria has more natural resources than Dubai. The problem in Nigeria is human resources. The government, the people, the government, human resources, that's what we need. Where is the scholarship? Look the amount of scholarship Americans are giving to their citizens. Look the amount of scholarship Egypt. Just recently, Egypt mandated all federal universities in the entire Egypt to be free for both foreigners and nationals. It has been free for the national citizens, but now free for foreigners. Cairo University, Alexandria University, Asyut University, and Shams University. These are universities in Cairo that are owned by the federal government of Egypt. Today they are free. They are free, tuition free, some of it accommodation free for foreigners. What has Nigeria done to the citizens for education in the university, federal universities, that will make us say we are proud to be Nigerians? Is it by dreams that we will be proud of Nigeria or reality? If I tell you I'm proud of Nigeria, I've just told you hearsay. I've just been unrealistic with you. I've told you a complete garbage to tell you I'm proud of Nigeria. I've been sweating. Look at dust on my face. The first thing I will do when I go to home is take a shower. Because I cannot rest like this. I think it's the best thing we can come up with Abuja. We talk of Wuse 2, Asokoro, Maitama, Jabi, Utako. These are like the 7 cities we are proud of in the entire Abuja. 7 cities. We can say yes, it's worthwhile. So Nigerians have to wake up. The difficult one is the natural resources, and we have been gifted by the Almighty Supreme Being, the Most High. Now what we have to do is work hard, provide scholarship for Nigerian citizens, from the primary level to the tertiary level. Provide some kind of feeding. Some people are hungry. You see them begging in the street and they are genuine. Don't look at them like that. People begging in the street for 15 years. Don't look at them like that. They are very hungry. They are doubting whether they should live or die. So the government should help. The government should assist. The government should help and assist. The government should help and assist. People are suffering. And the worst case scenario is that the elites, the dignitaries are traveling to London for their Christmas and New Year holiday and their Salah holiday. They're traveling to Dubai and Saudi Arabia. They don't feel the sweat of the masses. And it's at the expense of the masses that are doing all this. Is it fair? The answer is no. Come down to it, the answer is no. I'm very bitter.
This is exactly the situation of the country of Nigeria. And that situation can never change until you break it up. The situation can never ever change. After 61 years, and you are still talking to that man, it can never change. The only solution is a breakup. Break it up into pieces so that people will go their region and build their life. Build a life that is meaningful. The more you continue to stay together, the more you continue to kill yourself. You can never achieve any unity with the mass of people you are having with different kind of diversity. Diversity that can never meet at anywhere. Ideology that never meets, ideology that never agree with each other, ideology that wants to kill the other. How can you survive in such a nation? May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to bless and protect our Supreme Master Nnamdi Kanu, who has woken us up. If you refuse to wake up, it is up to you. If you refuse to commit suicide, that is totally your business. All we have to do is to make sure we pass the right information and save as many Biafrans as we can. Biafrans will go to Biafra land alive. All of us will not die. For those who have decided to sacrifice their life, that is their business. For those who died because they were fighting for Biafra, we will never forget them. But for you to stay alive, we give you the information on how to stay alive. Participate in every sit at home. More especially the Monday sit at home, participate in it the best way you can. Each time a sit at home is being called, observe it. Do not step an inch. Observe a sit at home. Anambra State election or any other election that is coming in the southeastern part of Nigeria, do not participate in anything that has to do with the party. It doesn't matter what the party is. It might be the party of your father. It might be the party of your best friend. It might be the party of your GO. Do not participate in anything that has to do with the party. If they dash you anything that has the emblem of a party, don't take it. Do not give your house to them. If you do, you are exposing yourself to death. You are already marked for death if you do, because they are going to kill you. The same people who employed you will kill you in order to frame up the Biafrans, because they already know that the Biafrans are not willing to participate in the election. So in order to demonize Biafrans and make us look like terrorists, they will cause a lot of havoc. That is the mission they have. As I'm speaking to you now, they are ready to kill anybody around. They are ready to kill anybody to frame people up. That is the mission they have. The only way you can stay alive now, stay away from anything that has to do with election. Wherever you see them, run away for your life. Run away for your life. That is the way to stay safe. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect every Biafran wherever you are. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to strengthen every one of us. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to show us the way to follow. We will never relent in our effort. We will fight until the last man standing. It doesn't matter what they do. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra must come. Nobody can stop it. Biafra will come. It's already here. All we are waiting for is for the coming of our Nnamdi Kanu, so that we can walk into Biafra with our head lifted high. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Nnamdi Kanu. Bless him, give him good health wherever he is. And very soon, as he's going to join us, we will walk into Biafra with our head lifted high. Thank you so much for watching, and remember blessed. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.